Well, according to the screens, I should be live right about now. Just give it a second to make sure it's actually bedding down. Trying to look on my tablet to find the stream. Let's see if it's actually working. It says I'm live, but it's not coming up on my tablet. Okay, let's have a look on the main YouTube app, shall we, and see if I'm actually talking to myself. Well, I probably am talking to myself, but okay. Okay, well, I'm going to assume, oh, here we go, your videos, that's what I'm looking for. Okay, well, let's just assume that we are live while I figure it out. So, if you haven't got it from the description, I'm up here at the boat. This is going to be a little bit of a weird out of sync thing for you guys, because it's I'm technically very much in the future from well, let's just assume that we are going. Sorry, okay, it is working. Yeah, so I'm very much in the future from what you've seen, and I think the video you're on at the moment is probably back in around June time, and whereas now it's obviously beginning of January 2025. So we've had a lot of storms over the last few months, and I've been busy working and haven't been able to get up here, so I wanted to get up here at least just to come check on the boat, make sure she's alright. She was. Even the covers survived, which I was really expecting them to be long gone. So I've got a few jobs to do, and before we'd have a go at this live stream, we had got plans to try and do this summer. The dream would be to try and do a live stream whilst we're on passage and whilst we're out sailing, which obviously the technology needs to be there. We need to have enough internet for that to work, and to be fair, the west coast of Scotland has really good phone signal for the most part. So in theory it could be possible, but obviously the more we move, you know, the more likely it is that we'll lose signal and it'll get annoying. Okay, I can see myself. Let me She needs to be there. Nope, so you don't need to hear me. Hey Pablo, hello, how are you? Can see and hear me well, that's good to know. There is a bit of a delay on the stream from me to you, so if it takes me a second to respond to you, that's why. Okay, so plan for today. It's warmed up a bit. It's been absolutely freezing the last couple of days. Like when I got here, the boat was covered in ice, and it's been pretty unpleasant. Sleeping has been pretty cold. I have got a heater, which hopefully isn't making too much noise and annoying you down below me. Yeah, it does help to keep it a little bit warm, but it is pretty miserable. But yeah, plan for today is toilet, as in changing the toilet, not using it. So let me see. Let's try our first attempt at moving around. So I'll come up to the front. This is the head, and in here we have this toilet, which is the toilet that came with the boat. It's, I don't know what the make of it is, TS something. I don't know, maybe someone else watching will know. It's not the traditional Jabsco toilet that you get. It's a yeah, it's a brand that I've seen it online, but it's not like everyone seems to have Jabsco, and we don't. Now, while I was up here last time, Craig, the owner of the boatyard, and maybe I'll show you around the boatyard a little bit in a bit. They break boats here. It's kind of a breaker yard, and he had a couple of old sailing boats that they were breaking, and he basically said, if you want anything, feel free to go and crawl all over it and take what you like, which was very nice. And one of the things that was on board, one of them was a pretty decent Jabsco toilet. So the plan is we're going to try and remove this toilet and install the new one, which is currently outside underneath the boat. So I have kind of flushed some water through it because it does smell a bit, and I'm not really looking forward to this job. But I don't think it's going to be too difficult. I think I basically just need to disconnect all the hoses, unscrew it from the floor, and then screw the new one down, I guess. At least that's the hope. So yeah, let's get to it, shall we? Right, let me see if I can find somewhere where I can mount you guys, where you can actually see. I can just about see. I've got my tablet here, which basically means I should be able to see. Hello, Robert. Wave back to you. Should be able to see comments and stuff like that. If you do have questions, you want to ask anything, you want to see anything on the boat, if you've been watching for a while and want to sort of see a bit more about the boat, then now would be a good time, obviously, to ask. Right. So where can I mount you? I can kind of put you. I'm going to put you like top down. So I have to like throw you around whilst I sort the camera out. So apologies if you get motion sickness easily. You might get. What's that look like? Possibly not the most inspired view, and you might get a lot of the back of my head, but I feel like that's probably going to be the best. It's quite a small area in here for me to be able to do anything. Just looking at the stream, I'm not actually that far behind you. Right, let's see what gross water is inside of this thing. If I'd been smart, I would have divers and things ready to go, wouldn't I? It's alright, I found a screwdriver. I think, if I'm right, is that the socket for these? That is not the socket for these. Oh well. Right. Let's see what foulness awaits us inside of here, shall we? I'm going to need some new. I bought these. These are supposed to be stainless steel Jubilee clips, but they baited me a bit because I think the main strap bit is stainless, but these are not. So I guess technically it had some stainless steel in it, so it counts, but it's kind of annoying. They just tend to fall apart, as everything that's not stainless steel in a marine environment does. Right, we'll start with the clean side of the water, shall we say? There's bound to be. There is some water in it. I've tried pumping it out, but yeah, it doesn't really work. Why am I changing the toilet? Good question. One, because I got a free better toilet, but also, like, I don't know how well you'll be able to tell, but this is really stiff, and I took it all apart and serviced it this year while we were out on our trip, but it didn't make any difference. And it's really like flimsy plastic, and eventually I feel like it's going to break. And like I say, it probably needed new seals and servicing and all that sort of stuff. But because I came across one, which I'll grab in a minute once we get this one out. Yeah, because I basically got one for free, I thought, well, might as well put a nice new free one in. So yeah, that's the main reason why we're changing. What I'd like to kind of do, if I can, is leave the outlet attached. And then I'm kind of hoping that once I get the toilet undone, lift it up and give it a shake, and then it should hopefully drain at least some more of whatever's in that pipe out, because I gotta be honest, I don't think what's in that pipe's gonna be pleasant. Oh. the socket, I think. So it's just held on with like, grab you. You can see under here, it's just held on, I think, for these 4 bolts onto this fairly crappy bit of plywood. I'm kind of hoping that plywood's going to survive, so plug it back in because I have a feeling this is going to kill the battery on the GoPro. Stick you on this angle here, you might be able to see something a bit more interesting. Other than my legs. Yeah, see how that goes. Ain't that one. I reorganised all my tools. My toolbox fell to pieces last year. It's 13, is it? But if you watched the videos earlier in the season when I had my little anchor problem and I ended up taking my a lot of my tools underneath the boat to try and fix it. Not anchor problem, what am I talking about? Propeller problem. Yeah, I went under the boat with a lot of these tools and they did not like that. And they did not fare well under the sea, shall we say. Spanner, because of course you can't get a socket onto this one. Apologies if that's really annoyingly rattling around in my box. I can't really hear what you're hearing. The right one? Yeah, well these are very loose, these. I'm just a little bit surprised that these haven't come loose up till now, really. Yes, potentially. Good question. Am I changing the outlet pipe? So, a question for anyone, I guess, who knows boats. So yes, it does smell. I'm sure that's probably where most of the smell is coming from. Now, when you have a toilet, generally what you have is, or any kind of inlet, I guess, you have like a loop which takes it up, so you can't see because you can move the camera back. Yeah, so you have like a loop which comes up above the waterline and goes out. I'm guessing safety thing. Obviously, if it fails down low, then yeah, the water's got to kind of go all the way over the top before it can just stop splurging out. Also, I think to stop water flowing back through the toilet, I think one of the things about this one is the seals are a little bit failing, maybe, which allows actually the toilet kind of fills up if you leave it open, which obviously is not a good idea. You don't want water coming into the boat. So we always close off the seacocks on the toilet anyway, but obviously if we were to forget, that could be slightly concerning. This one doesn't have that. I don't know how well you'll be able to see, but the pipe's back here, and it kind of goes straight down and out of the seacock. You'll be able to see it a bit better once I've got the toilet out. Now, how much of a problem is that? Like, is that one of those things where people are like shock horror if they were to learn that we have a pipe set up like that? Or is it one where it's like, well, it's inconvenient but it's not a big deal? I can kind of get the reason why, because there are lockers behind here, so if you had a pipe coming up like we did on Salty, it's going to be a mess. So it's going to basically block access to these cupboards and it's not going to be very good. So yeah, I don't have a new pipe for it. It looks really. But I could get one. Obviously, I could maybe run something. So, thoughts on that, people in the chat? Are they? Is that something that I should be really concerned about and deal with, or is it something which maybe can be dealt with later? Save all these washers. Oh, that smells lovely. Be grateful you don't have smell-o-vision. So yeah, if I You can see now that the big black pipe here, that's the outlet, so that's where all of the magic happens, shall we say. The question is, should I make that longer? Right, let's try and pump the rest of this out. Yeah, as you can see, this is why I'm getting rid of this. No one's outside right now. Okay, hopefully that's got most of the water into the pipe. So, just give you another location so you can see. It's always really difficult filming on boats because there is just no room to set up any decent camera angles. What does that look like? I have to wait 30 seconds for the stream to catch up so I can see what you're seeing. Yeah, that seems better. Right, so what blooming heck did I do with my screwdriver? You'll see what I did with the screwdriver. I'm sat on it. Right, let's get the bad pipe undone. I'm very cautious with this one. I'm going to give it a little clean out behind here anyway, so I suppose as long as there's nothing too unpleasant in here, it won't be the end of the world if it spills a bit. Right, there we are. Woo! I'm not sure why I smelled that so closely, but that is musky, shall we say. Very musky. Right, so there's the old toilet. Don't leak everywhere. Put that out here. Right. So stay. Right. Okay, so they're captive bolted into the bottom of that. So I guess the question's going to be, oh, hang on, sorry, the camera's moved. The question's going to be, is it exactly the same bolt pattern for the other toilet? Yeah, JC, yeah, that's kind of what, well, that's what I assumed the function of that pipe was, to stop backflowing. And I know that, as I said earlier, I don't know if it's just the seals are a bit knackered or what, but it does backflow to the toilet. Now the water level in normal circumstances is basically somewhere around here, I think. And I think that because that's kind of the height that the toilet refills to. Now obviously if you're healing and you're getting water in there, now I say we do as a matter of course close the seacocks, which has its own issues because you could end up wearing out the seacock and breaking the seacock when you're on mid-passage. But yeah, so I can see this pipe is designed only to go straight there, and if I was to set it up to kind of loop up, then you can see that obviously I've got cupboards here which would be awkward. I could potentially put something that goes up here first and then comes back and in, Can't really do it on this side because this is where the door goes, so it's kind of be in the way of the door. But yeah, not sure, to be honest. Not sure what's best to do there. But I'm going to grab some spray. And we'll give all this a nice clean out behind here before we go and get the other one. And once we've cleaned out, I'll take you outside so I can show you what the world outside looks like. And yeah, go get the other toilet because right now it's under the boat. So give me one moment. I'm just going to go and get myself some cleaning supplies. I really feel like I should paint this while it's like this. We do have some like bilge paint which would probably do pretty well on it. Joker valve? Which is the Joker valve? Not familiar with the terminology. Can't speak today. Is that like the big flappy valve in the bottom of the pump? Regardless, I would probably say the answer is yes. I think there's, like I say, that toilet is not the best. The pump doesn't work very well, and it's very difficult. So, wouldn't surprise me much if there was problems with the valves in it. Just ignore that there's a little pool of water in here. I'm sure it's just fresh, clean drinking water in the bottom of there. Ah, okay, yes, yeah. Yes, probably. I'm guessing that, you know, like I say, this toilet could be, you know, 30 years old for all I know, so, and for all I know, you know, they may never have changed out any of the valves or serviced it, so could be right there, Pablo. Oh. So you guys, I'm not sure if I recognise the names from commenting on the videos, but I'm assuming that you're people who have seen our videos before and you just weren't trolling for random boat maintenance live stream. Yes, Smoking Kippers, we did destroy the toilet. It was Skylar actually. We've been training her to use the toilet rather than having to row her to shore every night, and yeah, she got a bit carried away on the Bonios. Yeah, so you're Pablo, I assume you're answering me. Yes, so yeah, I'm just curious as to yeah, if you're watching the videos, you've got any thoughts on where we're up to. I mean, it's interesting, we've got a long way to go on the series this year. So what, let's say you're watching, well, yeah, you're watching back in June, so we're about 6 months behind on the videos right now. So obviously for us, the season's finished, the boat's out of the water, it's been sat on the hard since when did we take it out? End of September last year, I think we took it out in the end. And yeah, so we're gonna probably do an announcement video, so you're kind of getting a bit of a sneak peek if you're watching this. But basically, we've been kind of planning and looking at what videos we've got. Where we're up to right now is about, I think, 3 weeks into my solo trip. Joe's about to join me in maybe the next episode or the episode after that. And then we've got about 3.5 weeks where we were sailing together. I might ruin it later for you, but I won't ruin it right now as to what we actually get up to and where we go. But then we come back, the boat gets stored at Ardvern for 3 months because I have to go back to work. And then when we come back up at the end of September, and we bring her back to the boatyard basically. So in looking at what we've got footage wise, I I think we're 10 episodes in now, or we will be on the next one. We've probably got another 10 episodes for the next one, at least, plus a couple more, plus some probably some maintenance videos. Like I'm making a video of this trip as well, which will come out in a long time probably. Anyway, and the point being that right now we're doing fortnightly videos, but when we kind of do the maths, if we're doing fortnightly videos, we're going to be stuck making videos. So we're going to be stuck producing the videos for this year, or last year now, until, well, certainly the end of this sailing season, maybe even the end of the year. So we're going to be too far behind. So the plan is to actually move to weekly videos now. That does rely on us being able to produce the videos fast enough. Oh, take you off here. Yeah, it does rely on us being able to produce the videos fast enough. Jo has 2 other YouTube channels, or 3 technically actually, if you consider the one for my business. So yeah, she's obviously, there's only so many videos she can edit in a week. But if we don't start upping the pace of production of our videos, like I say, it'll be years before we catch up. So yeah, so hopefully that'll be something to look forward to. Basically, up until now, if you've been watching, you'll notice that it's just been me, and because I'm like a master filmmaker, you know, all of my filming is on point. It's all so well organized that, you know, it's a dream for us to make the video, shall we say. Jo, on the other hand, bit of an amateur, throws the camera around everywhere. No, I'm joking obviously, but going from just me documenting what I'm doing to me and Jo both filming stuff, both saying stuff to camera, not really kind of spending enough time you know, putting like an organized, like, okay, we'll do a start here, this video will be this and this, and then I'll do the outro, and then when I come to edit it later, it's kind of already kind of laid out. Right now I think we've just got this kind of mishmash of like me talking to camera, Jo talking to camera, footage of some stuff, no footage of other stuff, so it could be a bit of a nightmare to edit. So we may end up delaying, shall we say. It may end up taking a lot longer to edit, which could scupper the weekly thing, but I think we're going to try and do that. Right, anyway, sorry, rambling off. So plans for this year from Pablo. Not sure, if I'm honest. Sorry, just checking my phone. Jo has sent me a link to the stream, so yeah, that way I can watch it, I guess. Right, let's go and get the other toilet while we're there. So destinations for this year, not 100% sure, if I'm honest. The rough idea. Actually, let me just grab my phone, because I'm relying on my phone for the internet here, and I feel like if I go too far from my phone, you might get cut off. Now the obvious and logical one would just be to kind of do what we did this time, but go further afield. Oh, here we go, this is where I am, by the way. Outer Hebrides would be a logical place to go, I think. So sort of Lewis and Harris, Stornoway, that sort of thing. Problem's going to be with that is, and well, it's going to be the problem full stop with going forward, is, you know, obviously how much time do I have to go sailing? Talk to you, try not to fall off the ladder while I talk to you. Yeah, how much time do we actually have to go sailing? Now I'm hoping to have about 6 weeks, but that's kind of dependent on things, obviously. Just switch my phone over so I can see what you're saying. Now we can get up there in that time, that's easy. But yeah, getting up there and back in that kind of time might be a bit more of a challenge. So I was going to say, probably don't know if anyone's on here, I'll probably put a community post out about this, but if you know anywhere north or northwest sort of Scotland that we could potentially leave the boat, obviously I'm not thinking for free, although that'd be lovely, but you know, as in boatyards, mooring places, kind of need, so kind of anywhere Skye, maybe Mull sort of area, It isn't ridiculously expensive, because like we might do what we did this year, which is take the boat on a trip, go sailing all the way, and then stop somewhere, you know, leave the boat somewhere north, like we did with Ardburn this year, and then come back at the end of the summer and bring her back probably through the Crinan Canal again, and get her back to RB. Or alternatively, we could look at leaving her somewhere up there for the winter and starting our season up there next year as opposed to down here. There's slight complications of it being much further. I'm already 6 hours drive from here. You know, if I move it up to somewhere like Mallock, that's like 8-9 hours from here, or from my home, sorry. So there's some complications, but yeah, if you do have any ideas on that front, please do let me know. But I appreciate there's not many here, so I'm gonna put that out as a community post. Right, JC. Okay, so actually before I carry on rabbiting, under here is, in theory, my new toilet. I say new, it's not new, it's new to me. Yeah, look, see, I'm not sure what the year of it is with that Jadska, but it feels really nice. Oh yeah, I actually did have a U-bend thing in there which I could use for the outlet that I was talking about earlier. I took it home and I stripped it to pieces and used a load of sort of industrial vinegar to clean it out, and yeah, it looks pretty good inside. I'm going to carry this. I might have to pop you somewhere for a second. Carrying cameras, phones and toilet up the ladder is probably a recipe for hilarity. Just attach you onto there for now. Yeah. As you see, I wish the GoPro would keep its preview window on. Oh. Well, let's just assume that we are going. As you can see. Oh, that's alright. You can watch my arse as I climb it the ladder. Keep the preview window on. Okay, felt safer. Right, sorry, yeah, JC, you also asked about the engine, so let's have a chat about that. It's an interesting one with the engine. So obviously you've seen the start of the season where things did not go particularly well with the engine. Now, while we're here, I'll show you the engine, I guess. There she is, in all her glory. Yeah, so just in case anyone watching now in the future doesn't know, had quite the saga with the engine. It ruined our season last year. The year before, we ended up having to cancel the whole season because the engine just wouldn't go. I ended up buying a new, to me, still very old, replacement, exactly the same engine, Volvo Penta, 2002. I did some like work on it. You see the videos on the channel. I didn't like recondition it. I just cleaned it up, so well serviced, swapped a few things, and put it in the boat. And we had 3 particular incidents. We had the first one in the shakedown at Tiana Brewing, which you'll see in the video of, where it wouldn't start. And a second one where, actually, while I'm just drying out that piece of wood, because I think I am going to try and slap a bit of paint on it. Yeah, I had a second one where the prop almost fell off at the North of Butte, and then I had the first